Hey guys, so I'm making this video today because a lot of people have asked me how I got my job at Sephora um, this month, and a lot of people want to know because I'm not a makeup artist. I do not work in skincare, I don't work in fragrance, so a lot of people want to know what I do, how I got my job, etc. etc. So I had posted on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram that I was excited to start my new journey with Sephora. My boyfriend had also posted a picture of me on his Instagram saying that he was proud of me for my new job at Sephora. So for those of you who don't know, I am now the lead of operations at a new store opening up in Toronto in May of 2016. So I'm just going to go through a little bit of the interview process that I went through. It was extremely difficult for me to get this job. I really didn't think I was going to get it. I was ecstatic when I found out I did get it. And I'm still kind of going through the process of getting into the company a little bit. So I'm just going to go through that with you now. So I actually had about four or five interviews. So I'll start off with how I applied. I applied online when I found out a new store was opening at a mall close to me. And my friend told me, so I just went ahead, went online. I applied for what I think or what I thought that I would be best suited for. So I applied for a lead of operations, lead of color, and lead of fragrance, I believe. So I actually got called back for lead of color and lead of operations, and when I got the call, it was the next day after I had applied, and the girl had let me know that she would be conducting a phone interview with me right there on the spot, whether or not I was ready for it. So thankfully I was just at home in my pajamas, and she asked me maybe like 5 or 6 questions. They were general HR questions. They were, what is your availability? Are you in school? Do you have retail experience? Why do you want to work for us? And things like that. So I went ahead and answered her questions. I was really friendly. She was really nice. And she let me know that I did a really good job with her phone interview and that she would like to schedule an interview with me to meet one-on-one on Friday. So I got the call, I believe, on like a Tuesday, and then I went in on the Friday to my mall where they're opening up, and we just had a meeting at Starbucks. And I went in and I was so unprepared for that interview. I thought it was going to be like a 10-15 minute interview. You know, I've always gone for interviews that are less than 20 minutes long. It was an hour and 10 minutes. I was totally thrown off. She asked me so many questions. So make sure that if you're applying for a position that is not skincare or anything like that, that you really know your stuff, that you really do your research, that you really check up on the company that you're applying for, whether it be Sephora, MAC, any kind of beauty industry. She asked me questions like why I want to work at Sephora, you know, what kind of retail managerial experience I have, why I think I would be a great candidate, what I bring to the table, a little bit of Sephora history as well. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. If I knew anybody who worked at any other Sephora, if I knew what the other Sephora locations in Toronto are, just things like that. Uniform, like what they call like the floor, what they call backstage, things like that. So I went ahead and I felt really confident, and then at the end, the last 10 minutes, she dropped a bomb on me, and oh my god, guys. She told me that if I were to be chosen for the position, that they would have to run a background check and a credit check as well. And being a student, being fresh out of college and university, I let her know that I do have a lot of student debt. There was a time last year where, I didn't make a few of my bill payments, and that put a big thing on my credit, and I let her know that, and I told her, I'm really sorry for wasting your time. I wasn't aware that there was a credit check or a background check, although I don't have a criminal record. I was pretty nervous when she told me that, so the whole interview took a turn for the worst at that point when I was very open with her. I just told her I basically thought I didn't get the position because of it, and, that was it. So she assured me that, that isn't the only thing they take into consideration, but it is a big part of working at Sephora in operations. So I said, okay, well, I just wanted to get that out there because I don't want any surprises when you do come back with my credit check or with my background check. And, it was all on the table. And she said, thank you for being very transparent with me. I appreciate it. We'll be in contact with you. So I kind of left, went on my way. I was really upset after that. I actually went to my friend's store who works in the mall, like my friend who works in the mall, their store. And I went and she had told me, oh, Saks Fifth Avenue is hiring. So they're having open interviews, like they're having a job fair. You should come. So I went, applied at Saks. I actually got the job on the spot. They offered me the position. I said yes. And, went on my merry way. I was upset about Sephora, but I was happy that, I was still employed. And the next day I got a call from the manager who I just had my interview with Sephora the previous day. She called me and she let me know, like, hey, everything went really well, but there's this girl that wants to talk to you, another manager from another store. So no problem. She gave me the number, so I went ahead and called. And I'm not going to say any names or anything, but I called her and she was from a different store. And she just kind of wanted to have another phone interview with me. So this was my third interview. So I went ahead, had the phone interview. Everything went good. She's like, yeah, she's like, you seem like a really nice girl, blah, blah, blah. And then she told me, we'd be pleased to offer you the position. So I said, okay. I was ecstatic. I didn't think I got the job. And then the other previous manager had called me back, the one I had my face-to-face interview with. She called me back and she's like, yes. She's like, I'm happy that you got the job. She's like, I will be sending over your contract and all the paperwork and everything. And she kind of went and dropped another bomb on me. And she goes, I know we give you the job already, and you signed the contract already, but also in the email, there's the background check and the credit check. So I don't know if anybody else has had this. I'm not saying I'm not trustworthy, but a lot of the YouTube videos I researched before, even applying, didn't mention this. So just for the note, I live in Toronto in Canada, so I don't think they do this in the US, but I know for sure that they do it here in operations. So just keep that in mind when applying. If you do have anything to hide, that they will find it. So yeah, and then after that, we hung up, and then she gave me a call back the next day, which was this week. I think it was Tuesday. And she let me know, like, hey, another manager from another store wants to talk to you as well. So I said, okay, like, no problem. She gave me her number. I went ahead and called the store, and she said, yeah, I would like to meet with you on Friday. So I went ahead, I went in on Friday. It was 2.5 hours away from my house, but I, missioned it, and I went to go meet her. She was really, really nice, really sweet. Like, she hugged me after. It was just a 10-minute, like, meet and greet kind of thing, because I already had the position. And she just, like, assured me that she just wants to know who I am when she runs into me at the store in management. So everything went well. And then I'm not going to say any names, but the manager who keeps calling me, the one that I had my face-to-face interview with, she's like, hey, like, how'd it go? I hope you weren't nervous, because, like, I hope she sees what I see in you. Like, she should really like you, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, like, everything went well, and yada, yada, yada. And then yesterday I got another email from the background check and credit check company, because they do it through a third party. They had messaged me saying that I need to get a manager to sign off on one of my photo IDs to make sure it is who I say I am, who I say I am. And so I have to go meet her on Monday. Today's Sunday. So I will be going tomorrow to my local mall to go meet her again at Starbucks. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well on my credit check and that doesn't affect them hiring me. It was such a long interview process and I'm still going through it. So I do have the position for now, I guess, until they see my credit check. I'm hoping that, nothing gets affected from this point forward. I'm really hoping, because I'm not sure if they have another candidate ready to take my place in case, they find something that they don't like particularly. But all in all, I think everything's going really well. I'm really good friends with the 4 different managers that I've met so far. They all seem really, really nice. I've got to meet some of my other future co-workers and other managers as well from different stores. So everything should be going good. I will try to keep you guys updated as much as possible. But if you are planning on applying at Sephora, there's just, there's things that you should take into consideration before definitely before applying, that I didn't know. I wish people had told me. I do have a few friends that do work at local Sephora's here, and I wish they kind of told me like, hey, this is, you know, the process, and these are some of the things that you're gonna have to do and go through. Yeah, so I hope you guys keep that in mind, and I will keep you updated as much as I can, and hopefully I'll put up another video after Monday. Bye guys.